Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today is 6th of February and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. In this particular video guys, we are going to discuss entire analysis of Hindu. Also articles from other important sources that are not there in Hindu, we are going to cover in this particular session. In this particular session, we are going to cover these particular article for mains examination, these article for prelims examination, and in mapping we are going to discuss Dominican Republic. Along with these, we are also going to take one quotation for our essay as well as mains examination and current affair based MCQ questions to ensure that you are having effective revisions also after the classes. So these particular MCQ questions are made from the previous articles that we have discussed, and always ensure that you are marking these particular answers in comment. You are leaving your right answers, and if you have this compulsion of answering these particular MCQs, the previous day you will be very much careful while reading the article because a question will be framed next day. Now, first of all, let's discuss MCQ questions for today. So, today we are going to take these particular MCQ questions. Fine. Wheat blast was recently in news. What is the primary cause of it? A, B, C, D, bacterial infection, viral, fungal, parasitic. Identify the right answer and leave it in comment box. Then next question, next we have this. Uh, Consider following with respect to plastic credit bond. So we have discussed that also. Fine. In this context, PCB refer to financial instrument linking waste and financing plastic projects. Plastic bonds were outcome of Kyoto Protocol. So identify the right answer. Consider the following statement with respect to neural link recently in news. We have seen this. It aims to help control phone's computer through your thoughts. It has to be ingested orally. Okay, so identify the right answer and leave your answer in the comment box, and previous sessions questions their correct answers. Consider the following with respect to e-ink display. Okay, consider the following with respect to e-ink display. Uh, Guys, it will be that how many statements are correct? How many statements are correct? Low power consumption? Yes, correct. Fast refresh rate? No. It is a disadvantage that they don't have faster refresh rate. Refresh rate is slow. Low cost? No. Right now they are not low cost because they are being used in very limited number of devices. So when the uptake of technology increases, its cost comes down. So it is not low cost. Low eye strain? Yes, correct. Okay. So two statements are correct, 1 and 4. Fine. So how many correct statements are correct? Two statements are correct. Okay. Then moving on. Which state is associated to Shamang Leela theatre seen recently in news? Okay. Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, or Meghalaya. So correct option here is Manipur. We have seen that because of the Manipur crisis, artists they are facing a lot of problems. Artists they are facing a lot of problems. Okay, so that is about it. And now let's move on to the discussion for today. Okay, first of all, guys, let's take the GS quotation. So today we are going to take quotation from John Clapham. John Clapham says that economic advance is not the same thing as human progress. Now we have the topic of inclusive development in GS paper number 3. Inclusive development is a broad-based development which does not leaves anyone behind. It includes all minorities, genders, fine deprived sections of society. Now, often we see that economic advance comes, growth comes, GDP improves, but these sections, vulnerable sections, they are not included. Often we find this thing that the economic progress is going on, but huge inequalities are there. So, economic advancement might not show the complete picture. It is not same as human progress. Human progress is when the collective emancipation of the society happens, social indicators improve, inclusivity is there in development. That is the human progress. Okay, so much more is needed to be done in order to bring human progress rather than just focusing on GDP numbers and all such kind of things. So you can use this idea in GS paper number 3 economy as well as in essay. Now moving on, and let's take first article for today. And here the first article that we are going to take today is with respect to Myanmar's civil war and India's interest, how they are getting impacted. Now guys, see, when we talk about the Myanmar issue, there are certain new developments that have come out, and with respect to that we are going to discuss this article. This article will be important for GS paper number 2 mains, India's neighborhood and issues. And when we talk about India's neighborhood, India right now follows neighborhood first policy. Also, when we talk about Myanmar, Myanmar also comes in the domain of India's Act East policy. Act East policy. Now, first of all, before going in this article, we would like to discuss some basic background. So, basically, we have seen this particular thing, guys, that in 2021, military coup happened in Myanmar. Military, that is junta of Myanmar, took over the democratic government of Myanmar. And since then, now 3 years have happened. This military rule is going on in Myanmar. Now, as this military rule got started, guys, first of all, you need to understand one very important policy aspect of India Myanmar. Now, see, you guys just see here. Fine, just I will zoom it out. Fine. So, if you see, first of all, analyze this particular map. Now, guys, when we talk about Myanmar, you know this particular thing that Myanmar, fine, shares a long boundary. It shares a long boundary with the northern eastern states of India, Okay, and also understand this particular thing, guys, that when we talk about India's northeastern parts, we want to integrate it with the Southeast Asian economies so that their development happens, so that their economic trade increases. So we want to integrate it with the Southeast Asian economies. And many project we have taken the uh, India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highway, Kaladan multimodal project is taken. These all projects ensure that Northeast via Myanmar is connected to the extended Southeast region so that economic development in this entire region can come. So Myanmar is always a very important partner for India, particularly for Northeast development. Now, when you talk about India, so guys, India has always been a liberal democracy. Okay, and wherever anti-democratic forces have emerged, India have condemned it. Now, in India's neighborhood, that is Myanmar, military has taken over. Now, being liberal democracy, philosophically, India should condemn it. But if India will take any tough stand against the Myanmar's military junta, what they will do? They will go to China. And then China's history, you know, it has a notorious history. China, what it will do? It will provide finance to the military here. Non-state actors, China will provide the funding. And with that, they will try to bring insurgency in northeastern region. So philosophically, India should condemn Myanmar. But strategically, India is not in a very clear condition to do that particular thing. So this is something that has emerged here. Now, guys, when we talk about this particular when we talk about this Myanmar's crisis that started in 2021, you see this particular thing that Myanmar's military junta, they thought this particular thing that civil resistance will be there for a few months, then they will cripple those civil resistance movements and they will get a unchallenged authority in Myanmar. But this has not happened. Actually, in Myanmar, many of the ethnic groups, many of armed groups, many of citizens groups have emerged, which are challenging the Myanmar's military. And what they have done, now they have started capturing powers in certain areas of Myanmar. Now, guys, here if you see, there is a Palitwa. Now, remember this particular location of Palitwa. Why? Because it is going to be there in the examination. Okay, Palitwa. Now, okay. So basically, I told you that what happened, military thought that civils movements, armed movements that is happening against military, they will go down in some months. But what happened over the these 3 years, ethnic armed organization, fine, which have been made by the citizens of different ethnicities in the Myanmar, they have emerged, and one of an ethnic armed organization in Myanmar, that is Arakan Army. What they have done, they have captured Palitwa in the Chin state, which lies on the Myanmar's western borders with Bangladesh and India. I have just shown you. So they have captured the Palitwa. Now, this is something that is going to have an impact on India also. Why? Now, first of all, guys, when we talk about Palitwa, a minute. Yes. So, guys, when we talk about the Palitwa, so Palitwa's border is location on the western border. Now, it has some importance for Arakan army. Now, what is the importance for Arakan army? You see this particular thing that Arakan army, now the Paletwa, it is a commercial town and it also lies on the Kaladan river. And by that particular thing, it can get a lot of economic advantages. Economically, Paletwa is very important. So revenues that are being generated by the Paletwa, on that Arakan army can hold a control. And when you have the control over economy, when you have money, you can get resources, and that resources can be used against the other authorities that challenge you. Okay, so this is something that has happened. Now understand this particular thing, guys. India has taken up ambitious project, that is Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. Now what is this particular project? Through this particular project, India wants to connect the northeastern states with Myanmar and then with the Southeast Asia. Now this Kaladan project, it is aimed at addressing the geo-economic and geopolitical challenges that northeast is facing. Okay, and this India and Myanmar, they signed the Kaladan Framework Agreement in 2008, and Sitwe Port, fine, and inland water terminals that is at Paletwa, they were to be used for the Kaladan project. That were to be used at the Kaladan for the Kaladan project. Now I will show you this particular location here. So guys, here you can see that we have Sitwe Port, fine. Here we have Sitwe Port. Here there is Paletwa. Now, Sitwe port is a very important port for giving the extended connectivity towards the Southeast Asia and other parts, and northeastern states, they were expected to use the Sitwe project. And to go to Sitwe, you have to pass on through the Paletwa, and here Arakan army has come. Now, when we see, guys, the equation of Arakan army and India, this particular equation is not very much good. This equation is not very much good. What has happened before the coup of 2021? There were the reports that India and Myanmar, they have launched coordinated operation against Arakan army. Okay. Now, because of that, Arakan army does not seize India in very good light. Also, guys, we have seen this particular thing that in the past, in the past, Arakan army, what they have done, they have received the funding and military equipment from China. And on the behest of China, Arakan army might use this funding and military equipment against India, So therefore, this has become a cause of concern. Now see, if you see this Arakan army, okay, this has become a cause of concern, and this military coup, when military was one big challenge, military rule was one big challenge in India, for India in Myanmar. Now these ethnic groups, they are also becoming a challenge. Now if you see, guys, that what has happened recently, China has signed a cooperation agreement with the Myanmar to construct a railway line, that is, which will connect China's Yunnan to Kyukpu, fine, via Mandalay. And this particular railway line is a part of China-Myanmar economic corridor. Now, if you see, guys, here what China is doing, China is playing the double hand. On one hand, China is engaging Myanmar's military. Second hand, China is also engaging with these particular ethnic armed organization. Ethnic armed organization and Myanmar's military, they might not have good equation with each other, but China is maintaining good equations with both at the same time. Now, India is finding it a very big challenge. India is finding it to be a very big challenge. Now, a question might come in your mind that why all of them get inclined towards China, but why they are not getting inclined towards India that much? Now, see this particular thing, guys. When we talk about China, you know already that China is a permanent member in UNSC, United Nations Security Council. Now, United Nations Security Council, it is a principal organ of UN, and on which organization sanction is to be imposed, on which against which organization military action should be taken. These proposals are cleared in UNSC. Now, all these state actors, such as Myanmar, where military is ruling, okay, if you recognize it as state actor, so Myanmar's military, non-state actors such as the Arakan army and all such things, they want to maintain good relations with the China so that China saves them in UNSC. If any resolution is being passed against that, China can save them because China has a veto power. So this is the reason that they do that. Now, if we want to successfully complete the Kaladan project, it does not only requires a technical personnel, okay, but also we need to strategically look that how Chin Arakan ethnic relations, how the Myanmar Arakan China Arakan ethnic relation, China Arakan relations can be seen. So this is, guys, all about it. And with this, we come to an end to this article. I hope that you have understood it. Now moving on to next article. An Uttar Pradesh model to tackle malnutrition. Now this article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2 social justice. GS paper number 2 social justice as well as women related issues GS1, GS paper number 2 also will see this. Now basically what this article is actually is doing, this particular article is showcasing the case study of Uttar Pradesh, that how Uttar Pradesh, what they have done, they have created micro enterprises led by women self-help groups. And Uttar Pradesh is doing two things simultaneously. Number one, they are providing nutrition to women. Secondly, what they are doing, they are also providing livelihood to some other women also. How? Now in order to understand this particular article or to make sense of this particular article, I would like to give you some background. And here I am going to use this Niti Aayog report. I am going to use this particular Niti Aayog report. So basically guys, understand this particular thing, understand the background. So you know this particular thing that malnutrition, undernutrition is a very big problem in India, particularly lactating mothers, pregnant mothers and children. Fine, children in the age group of 6 to 36 months, they have the malnutrition is a very big challenge. Now to address this, what has happened? National Nutrition Mission was launched. National Nutrition Mission was launched. This National Nutrition Mission is also popularly known as Poshan Abhiyan. You might have heard about the Poshan Abhiyan. Poshan stands for Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nourishment. Now, under this Poshan Abhiyan, it has been envisaged that supplementary nutrition is to be provided. Now, see this particular thing. Under National Food Security Act 2013, already at 3 rupees kg rice is being provided, 2 rupees kg wheat is being provided, 1 rupee kg coarse grain are being provided. Along with that, some additional nutrition, supplementary nutrition is also to be provided. And for that particular thing, what has happened? We are using the supplementary nutrition program under ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme. Now, when we talk about the ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme, under this particular thing, additional nutrition will be provided to the children under the age of 6 years as well as to the pregnant mothers and lactating mothers. So, under ICDS, 3 people are focused: children below age of 6, lactating mother and pregnant mother. Now, how supplementary nutrition will be provided to them? So, supplementary nutrition is provided through two modes. Number one, hot cooked meals. Hot cooked meals are to be provided. And second is the take home ration. Now guys, when we talk about the take home ration, in this take home ration, there are multiple items that are there depending on the state by state. For example, there can be flour, there can be besan laddus, okay, there can be other milk powder can be there, or milk can be given, eggs can be given. Okay, so multiple items are given in this take home ration. Different governments offer different things. Now, what Uttar Pradesh has done, now coming to the Uttar Pradesh. So guys, this is entire background not given in the article. But see, often when an editorial is being written, they assume that you know these basic things, but we often don't know. So we need to do some additional research. Okay, so understand this particular thing, that what has happened now, the Department of Women and Child Development, and Uttar Pradesh government, what they have done, they have collaborated, and with this collaboration of Women and Child Development Department and the government of Uttar Pradesh, they have set up decentralized production facilities for take home rations. Decentralized production facilities for take home ration. Now what is happening? So they have identified self-help group of women self-help group is a type of an organization where people have come together for some similar socio-economic reason. So women self-help group will be identified. They will be given raw material. For example, they are being given wheat. You convert that wheat in flour. Are you getting it or not? So that they are being given ingredients such as jaggery is being given to them. Okay, other items are being given to them, and they are being asked to make some laddus which are nutritional, which can be given to women particularly those women who are lactating. So they will be given raw material, and that raw material, these women self-help group will convert in finished product, and that finished product will be given to the other women as a part of their take-home ration, as a part of their take-home ration. Now, this under this particular model, what it involves, this model involves the production of different variants of ICD beneficiary. Now, what does this mean? Now, see this particular thing, that a pregnant woman might have some different nutritional requirement. Lactating mother might have some different nutritional requirement. A mother of having 2 year old, a mother of 2 year old kid might have different nutritional requirement. Okay, let's say a 2 month kid might just be dependent on mother's milk only, but a 3 year old kid might be needing some additional nutrition. Now, what type of food is safe to that particular child? So within the ICDS beneficiary, now ICDS beneficiary are of three type: pregnant mother, lactating mother, and children. Within these three group, 20 categories have been designed depending on their situation, and they are provided different type of products. And who are making those products? These women self-help groups are making it, and these women self-help groups, they have been given automated equipment, and 5 metric ton per day production they can do. Per day production they can do. Now, after that, what happened? The ration is delivered to Anganwadi center. So women self-help group, they give ration to Anganwadi center. Anganwadi center then they give to the respective beneficiary. Now, what has happened? This particular model has been studied by United Nations World Food Program. Okay, and particularly Unnao and Fatehpur in 2021, they have studied, and they had said that this particular project is leading to a lot of benefits. Number one, nutritional outcomes of the women who are getting food, it has improved. Also, it is also providing livelihood to these self-help groups, livelihood to these particular self-help groups. So it is a win-win situation. It is a win-win situation. Also, what has happened? Basically, they have used this particular opportunity to reformulate the take-home ration. It is nutrition, and it includes high quality milk powder, oil, different items providing vitamins, minerals, okay, which can help the well-being of the children. Okay. Also, what has happened? Different type of items are given, so that monotony does not comes. Okay, for 15 days a different item, then other 15 days different items will be given. Also, packaging has been ensured that packaging should give nutritional education to people. Also, all the nutritional aspects is there. Moreover, the food products, they have been tested by National Accreditation Board for Testing. Okay, they have tested it. Okay, so this is something which is a very important milestone that has been achieved, and all these things, they are aligned with the FSSAI, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. Now, guys, this case study should be replicated in the other states also. This particular case study should be replicated in other states also, and they should also ensure that how on this particular line they can further move. This is a very good thing that has happened. So guys, I hope that you have understood it. A minute. Fine. So guys, I hope that you have understood it. A very good article. Please use this case study. Now moving to next article. A critical view of sanitation miracle in India. A critical view of sanitation miracle in India. We'll see this particular article for GS paper number 2, social justice and developmental issues. Now, what this article is doing, in a nutshell, this particular article is doing a critical analysis of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan that the government launched. Now, guys, when we talk about the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which actually focuses on sanitation, it is not fast time intervention by the government of India. Okay, what actually happened? Central Rural Sanitation Program was launched in 1986. Now, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, it is just the reformulation of this Central Rural Sanitation Program that was launched in 1986. It got converted in Swachh Bharat Mission, fine, in 2014. And the goal was to achieve open defecation free status by 2019. Open free defecation status by 2019. Now, what happened? The government said that actually they have increased the sanitation coverage from 39% in 2014 to 100% in 2019, and open defecation free status has been given to almost entire all the villages. So government says that 100% ODF status has been achieved. Now it has been said that, see, ODF status has been achieved, but now government has launched the phase 2 of Swachh Bharat mission. Now, what is the focus? Focus is on sustainability of the achievements. Okay, for example, you planned a particular timetable for yourself for the study, you achieved it 100% on first day. Now after that you need to ensure that how you sustain that every day you are doing the same thing. So toilets have been constructed, they say that sanitation has come, but how to sustain that sanitation? For that, phase 2 has been launched, and in that phase 2, solid and liquid waste management, fine, certain households if left they will be covered. This is something being done. Now this particular article says that, see, what has happened, construction of toilets has been done, but construction of toilet or giving toilet to every household does not mean that actually they are going to use it. And if they don't use it, then actually at the end of the day, sanitation achievement will not be there. Article says this particular thing, that if we see National Sample Survey Office NSSO's 69th round of survey, it shows that in 2012, when 59% of the rural households had no access to toilet, 4% of individuals who had access reported not using the facility. Okay. Now see, 59% of rural households had no access to toilet. Remaining, they had access to toilet. So the remaining that had access to toilet, are all of them using it? No. The ones who had a toilet, only 4% are using that. So it means that though people have toilet, but still they don't use. Still they don't use. Further, there was a survey done in Bihar, Gujarat, Telangana. It was provided that toilet access is different. For example, it was 59% in Bihar, 66% in Gujarat, 76% in Telangana. But at the same time, even the ones using toilet, they are far more less. It is said that among those with access, non-usage rate was 38% in Bihar. 38% people don't use. 50% in Gujarat, 14% in Telangana. So it shows that just giving the toilet will not ensure that people are going to use it. And we need to now come out with a strategy that how we should focus that the people who have toilet, they are going to use it. Now, there can be many reasons that why people are not using toilets. They are on economic condition of a family, education of that family, household size. Now see, when we talk about the larger household, say let's say 10 people are living in a household, but they have only one toilet. Because of overcrowding that happens in the toilet, some of them might not use toilet, they might still be going for open defecation. Okay, education. The people who are not that much educated, who don't understand the health is impact of poor sanitation, they are not going to use. Those who have high education, they might use it. Access to water is very crucial. Access to water. Now you see this thing. If in the toilet water is not there or reliable water supply is not there, people might not use it. People might not use it. Okay. Now you see there is one more program, Jal Jeevan Mission. Now Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide functional household tap connection by 2024. Now Jal Jeevan Mission, fine, Jal Jeevan Mission, fine, it does not shows a clear correlation with the toilet usage in villages. Okay, so it has not been connected very organically. Fine. Then there are the social norms that are there, some social prejudices, some superstitions are there in the people's mind. Now, also there is one more survey, that is National Annual Rural Sanitation Survey. Fine. Now, this particular survey provides that the toilet usage is highest among the upper caste and lowest among the scheduled caste. Okay. The toilet usage is highest among the upper caste but lowest among the scheduled caste. Okay, so basically caste hierarchy also plays a very important role. So now in the Swachh Bharat mission second phase, what we need to focus? We need to focus on behavioral change. We need to focus on behavioral change so that people who had toilets at least don't see it as something which is a negation of their traditional ways, but toilets should be seen that they are a very important aspect of sanitation and good health, and they should be nudged that using toilet becomes a habit in them. So behavioral changes are now more needed to make Swachh Bharat mission a success. Fine. So that is about this particular article. And now moving to next article. So this particular article we are going to see with respect to prelims examination, health, science and tech and related issues. Fine. Candida auris. Candida auris. So many number of times these questions come in exam. Candida auris was recently news. What it is? Prelim specific article. So what is Candida auris? So guys, it is a deadly fungal or yeast infection that has been identified in US. That has been identified in US. Now understand this particular thing, guys. This particular fungal infection, it is resistant to antifungal medicines, to antibiotics. It is resistant and it is rapidly spreading in USA. Okay, it is capable of causing invasive infection in human body, fine, and can impact the people with immune system, weak immune system. Now, this particular Candida auris was first identified in Japan in 2009. Now, this particular infection is connected with the hospital infections. Now, suppose people are getting admitted in hospital for some general treatment. So, in hospital, because of the environment that is there, a person is prone to catch many secondary infections. So, largely this particular Candida auris fungal infection, it is picked up by the people in hospitals. Now, understand this particular thing, that this infection, okay, this particular fungus, it is capable of living on the skin or other body parts. It is living on your skin. Right now, it has not impacted you. This phase is called as the colonization. Colonization. Now see this. A fungus is living on my body. Right now, it is not a concern for me. But suppose I get bruised, I get a cut on my skin. Then through that cut, what it will do? It will enter in the bloodstreams and then it will replicate and then it will cause the invasive infection. Fine. Now, it is very similar to bacterial infection, that is high fever will be there and it is treatable by antifungal funds. However, a lot of drugs, they show not if they are not effective because of a resistance also that is there. Okay. So this is about it. The next is Graves 3 experiment. Graves 3 experiment. Now, first of all, what is this Graves 3? Now, Graves 3 does not literally means the grapes. Graves stands for Gamma Ray Astronomy PEV Energies Phase 3 project. Now, what is this? Basically, guys, this is a kind of an observatory that is situated in Ooty. This is just an observatory that is situated in Ooty and it is operated by the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. And what it aims to do? It aims to identify, it aims to study the cosmic rays entering the earth. Now, guys, what are the cosmic rays? Cosmic rays are high frequency rays that are originating in the outer space and constantly these cosmic rays are entering the earth. They are entering the earth. So what is this Graves 3 experiment? Graves 3 experiment is to study the cosmic rays entering the earth at different spectrums. Now, when we talk about these cosmic waves, when we talk about these cosmic rays, these are the energetic particles, fine, and they enter the earth atmosphere at the speed of light, and the examples of these cosmic rays, it includes electrons, protons, muons, neutrons. Okay, particularly, guys, when we talk about muons, what are muons? Muons are subatomic particles, and these muons, they are created when the particles in earth's atmosphere collide with the cosmic rays. So when the earth atmosphere particles collide with cosmic rays, get they are they form the muons. So to study these muons, neutrons, electrons that are entering the earth from the outer space, this Graves 3 experiment is working, where it has been established in Ooty. Who is operating it? Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, TIFR. Okay, so that is about it. And now moving to the next article, hydrothermal systems. Hydrothermal systems. Now here, guys, I will show you one particular video and I expect that the copyright claim does not come here. Okay, so here if you observe, vents are hydrothermal. Okay, so here you see that this is a rock below the ocean, and from here there is rapid steam, rapid hot water that is rising here. Fine. So if you see rapid steam or rapid hot water is coming out of it. So basically, guys, there are many areas in the earth. Sometimes they are under the ocean, sometimes they are under the land, where rapid heated water or steam, it emerges, and they are called as the hydrothermal vents. Now what has happened? One hydrothermal vent or hydrothermal system has been found out below below the lake Rotorua. Now where this Lake Rotorua is? Lake Rotorua is in New Zealand, and this particular Lake Rotorua is at the dormant volcano. So there are volcanoes. Now these volcanoes become dormant. They don't burst up for so many years, sometimes hundreds of years. And what happened? The depression, okay, that is there. In that, water is filled and a lake is formed. So there is this Lake Rotorua. Where is Lake Rotorua? Lake Rotorua is in New Zealand. And where it is? It is at a dormant volcano. So under this Lake Rotorua, there is new hydrothermal system or a hydrothermal vent that has been found. Hydrothermal vent that has been found. Okay. So where these hydrothermal vents are there? They are both on continent as well as they are in the ocean. And largely where they are there? They are where the convergent plate boundaries are there. Okay. Fine. They are also found in the ocean floor, mid-ocean ridges. Okay, and their existence requires three things. Number one, fluid, heat, and permeability. Fluid, heat, and permeability. Now, if we talk about these particular systems, so what happens? So, suppose this is the ocean floor. Okay, and what happened? Sea water, let's say, percolate. Let's say there is a boundary gap, and the sea water percolates. Now, if you see in the crust, there is the we find that there's a hot lava. Now what happens? This particular water, it gets heated up and then it is shot outside like a steam, and here the water gets heated at the 350 to 400 Celsius, 400 Celsius, which is 4 times higher than the boiling point. Okay, so this is something that happens, and often a lot of rich chemicals, they are also found here. Fine, and this water, it is filled with a lot of good calcium, good chemicals also. Fine, which is actually very good for sometimes for the skin. Fine, and these deposits, what they do, they support the deep sea chemosynthetic communities organisms. Okay, moving on. Now for mapping, we are going to take the Dominican Republic. Why? Because India and Dominican Republic, they have signed the Joint Economic and Trade Committee Agreement. Now, when we talk about the Dominican Republic, so you see that here we have the Dominican Republic. Here we have the Dominican Republic. So guys, when we talk about Dominican Republic, just a minute. Fine. Yes. Now, as we talk about the Dominican Republic, so here you can see we have the map of the Caribbean nations, and within the Caribbeans, here we have the Dominican Republic. Now, Dominican Republic, it makes the boundary with Haiti. It makes the boundary with the Haiti. Okay. Then there are some other aspects of this particular region that you should know. That is the water bodies that is here. So here entire we have the Caribbeans. Here entire we have Caribbeans, and within the Caribbeans we have the Dominican Republic. Now, if we talk about the major water bodies, here we have Atlantic Ocean in the northernmost. Here we have Atlantic Ocean. Here there is Bermuda. Okay, Bermuda. You might have heard about the Bermuda Triangle also. Okay, so here there is Bermuda. Then we have the North American Basin. Here we have Sargasso Sea. Sargasso Sea. Fine. You might have heard about it also. Fine. Then here we have the Caribbeans. Here there is a Caribbean Sea. Here there is a Caribbean Sea. Here there is a Panama Canal. Here there is a Panama Canal. Fine. Here we have the Guatemala Basin. Okay. So these are some important water bodies that we have here, and here there is Gulf of Mexico. Now what I want that you please download this particular notes, download this particular file, and please analyze these water bodies, because in the past question on north to south orientation or east to west orientation, they have been asked. Okay, so that is about it. So guys, with this we come to an end to the today's session, and also the basic details that I discussed I have provided here in the note also. You can download it and you can read that also, the same thing that I have discussed. So that is all guys about this particular session. With this we come to an end to this particular session, and guys, I hope that you are liking the session where we are trying to cater all requirements of your UPSC CSE examination, along with the background, along with the other information that is relevant. Okay, so guys, please do hit the like button if you have liked the video. Please do share this particular initiative with the people, with your friends who you think it can help. Also, it is very important that you leave your answers of the MCQ questions every day. Make it a radical habit. Why this habit is important? Because If you have this, that okay, I have to attempt the answer the next day, you will read the articles previous day very carefully. Also, one more thing I ask you, that please leave the score also in the comment, that okay, how many questions you got right. 3 out of 3 means all were right. 3 out of 2 means 2 out of 3 means 2 were right. 1 out of 3 means 1 is right. Fine, please write it. Please write it. Thank you so much, guys. Now we'll be meeting tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.